Two movies came out this year in 2026 that did the same strange thing to me and in the exact opposite ways. One of them spends 2 hours testing your patience, and then the last 30 minutes of the movie are so good you almost forgive everything. The other movie is one of the best action movies I've seen in years, and then the last 30 minutes take a wrecking ball to the whole film and make me angry by the time I am done. These are two movies where the last 30 minutes were just very impactful in very strange ways and just having the complete opposite effect. I call it the last real flip, where the ending of a movie reaches back and changes the whole feeling you have for the movie, for better or for worse. Today I've got one of each of these kind of movies, and by the end, I want to know which one of these you've lived through, listener. I'm just curious, have you experienced something like this? So here we go. This is a special episode. It's a bit of a commentary and trying to open up a conversation here. I want to again restate the framework here, two 2026 movies, and then this concept that I'm talking about called The Last Real Flip, and then one movie that I saw where it's saved by its ending, and another movie where the ending totally ruins it, and then putting this question back to you, listener, at the end. What's crazy with this concept is it can work both in a way of rescuing the film for you or destroying it, as I had mentioned. And that's what really fascinates me. A great ending can definitely help revive a mediocre couple of hours, or a bad ending can poison what has been a great movie up until that point. So for the first movie, the positive version, Disclosure Day, the new Steven Spielberg movie. And from the posters and trailers and marketing material, what has been known already before you go into a theater, you kind of have a rough idea of what it's about. Something's in the sky, something we're not being told. This is Spielberg's home turf. We're talking movies that he's done before like Close Encounters, E.T., War of the Worlds. When it comes to that feeling of looking up in the sky and not knowing what's looking back, nobody does it better. Again, this is Spielberg's turf. So I went in expecting to be in good hands. And here's the situation. The movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and the last 20 to 30 minutes of the movie, mesmerizing. Absolutely mesmerizing, absolutely breathtaking. I was completely locked in. The kind of locked in where you forget you're holding your own breath. It's Spielberg doing the kind of thing that only Spielberg does. But listener, you just heard me say 2 hours and 20 minutes of total runtime. Those first 2 hours are a struggle. It is a slog to get through. And that's wild to me too, because the cast of this movie is genuinely stacked. You got Emily Blunt. She's phenomenal. Colin Firth. He's great. Coleman Domingo. Excellent. Josh O'Connor is a good actor. We've seen him in movies like Challengers or Wake Up Dead Man. We know what he can do, but he's just not given much to work with here. And honestly, I'm not sure the part even needed to exist. So I don't put that on him. But even with the music, and this is John Williams we're talking about, Spielberg's go-to guy, and he's just the GOAT composer. He has done so many great soundtracks. Outside of the final stretch of this particular movie, John Williams' score was just not really necessary. And Spencer, my friend Spencer, if you're listening out there, I heard you say this, and I could not agree more with you on that. This feels like a movie that didn't quite know how to market itself, and I think you can feel that same kind of uncertainty inside the film itself for long stretches of it. And yet, that ending, that amazing ending, does so much heavy lifting that I think I can stand confidently at my rating of a 7.5 out of 10. So you can see the flip for me with this movie is real. The last 30 minutes definitely reached back for me and helped me change the way I thought about it a lot. And that's the kind of power of a great final act. It can make you forgive a lot. But now we come to the inverse. And that would be for the movie The Furious, a 2026 martial arts action movie that got hyped to the moon. And I'm here to tell you, for most of its runtime, that hype is completely real and is absolutely warranted. It is some of the best fight choreography I've seen in years. And it's not just the fighting, it's the action choreography, the action cinematography, the way it's all shot and staged and blocked. It was phenomenal. The two leads in this also are fantastic. I was sitting there thinking, how could they even make this? How did they make this? Because some of the things they were doing were so impossible and so amazing. It's up there with movies like The Raid and The Raid 2. But then even after all that amazement and enjoying the movie up to this point, If this movie just ended 30 minutes sooner than where it actually did, I'd be telling you, hey, this is a absolute classic, amazing, one in a million action movie. Definitely go check this one out. If you go in wanting to see a great action movie for about 2/3 of this thing, you are going to be thrilled and you're going to get that. You'll definitely be satisfied, entertained, and grinning at the screen. I was ready to give it like an 8.5 out of 10. And then the last 30 minutes happened. And listener, it's so destructive to everything this movie had built up in me as a fan. I'll say this, I'm going to stay spoiler free, so I'll keep this to the shape of that. The villain, who should be the thing that keeps this movie all together, is not just uninteresting to me, but there's something the villain does late in the film that I found genuinely so disgusting. It just wasn't my cup of tea, and it really pulled me out of the movie. I just want you to see what kind of reaction it had to me as one viewer. And there's also a big multi-person fight in a public setting that goes on and on and on for way too damn long and is so ridiculous. There's times where ridiculous is fun, and then there's times where ridiculous is just running way too damn long and you're waiting for the big hook to like pull it off the screen and just be done, please. And again, I want to repeat, this is just me, one viewer. You might love the exact stuff that lost me in this movie, and if you do, I want to hear about it because I know some of you are going to be very passionate about this movie. But for me, the ending dragged what would have been an 8.5 down to barely a 7. And here's the part that actually stings. Up until the last 30 minutes, I loved this movie, and it's now a movie I never want to watch again. So the flip took something that would have been a favorite of mine and turned it into something that I admire, but definitely cannot return to. That's the cruel version of this phenomenon of the last real flip. So listener, those are my two movies where I experienced this kind of phenomenon, and it was definitely weird for me because they happened pretty quick and back to each other. You have a movie that the last real flip saved, and a movie that the last real flip wrecked. And now I wanted to throw this question back to you, and I'm curious, have you experienced something like this? If you have, I definitely want to hear about it. So here's what I'm going to ask. I'm going to direct you to the Instagram page for the podcast program, which is at SoundSpeedAction, all one word. And when you follow us on there, I'm going to put a teaser post about this podcast episode. And in the comment section of that post, definitely share with me what are some movies where you've had this last real flip effect, where the movie at the very end has either totally saved the movie or totally destroyed the film for you. I'm very curious. And my plan for these is that I promise to read them all, and then I will pick a few and I will make a short video sharing them on social media. Listener, both of these movies, Disclosure Day and The Furious, are in theaters now, but they are also available on home video. To recap my ratings on both of them, Disclosure Day is a 7.5 out of 10, and The Furious is a frustrating 7 out of 10. So returning to where we started, in the same year, having two movies that came out where the 30 minutes at the end had very opposite effects, and introducing this concept of the last real flip. And I want to keep returning to this as we go on in more episodes. And another thing, listener, I want to mention in particular with talking about The Furious, where you heard a lot of my frustration with that movie, the fact that a movie can still enrage me or any other viewer, I still take it as a positive sign that this is a medium that still has power over us, and that's a good thing. That's the positive way, at least I want to spin that. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps this program a lot. And as always, thank you for listening.